Good afternoon and welcome to the September 29, 2023 meeting of the Rotary Club of Beavercreek. Thank you to Dave Brandenburg stepping in for the Hazes on the greeters today. And I think he even enlisted Kyle, our server, to help greet. So we love people stepping up. Thanks to Eric Marcus for Ticketmaster, initial setup, secretary duties, something else, some other stuff, I'm sure. Beth Handworker for actually taking the setup from Eric's start to actually working over here. We appreciate that. Pete Bales, Mark Weinstein, and Mike Swick for our great programs, and Jim Gundel for taking care of the website. I'm going to ask Denny Jarvie to come give us an invocation.
Well, good afternoon. Would you join me in prayer? Oh, Holy Creator, we stay focused on the objectives that we have for the world: peace, tranquility, a true brotherhood of man, freedom from hunger and oppression, from sickness, the freedom to choose our own destinies. We reaffirm our commitment to a simple Rotary four-way test. For all we do is important. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? We reaffirm our commitment to these high ethics in all we do. We give thanks for all the blessings and opportunities and responsibilities as they befall us as Rotarians, as we continue this new season with optimism and renewed energy. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right. Eric, do you have a secretary's report?
I sure do. Got 27 members attending, and we have 5 guests. Let's see. I have 3 guests.
Okay.
I have Greg Walker, or wait a minute, Greg. Greg is the host father now for Henry, our exchange student. I have Henry, of course. He's almost not a guest anymore. And I have Henry's host brother, Chase. Not here is the other Walker. What? Chris. No, well, Chrissy, and then their daughter, who is in Austria. Wow. Beautiful.
Okay.
And who else has a guest? Shannon has a guest. Wow.
I have Brianna here with me, so make sure you stop by and say hi to Brianna.
All fingers still present and accounted for. We appreciate that.
And Brian has a regular guest.
My beautiful bride, Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
And our elected prosecutor, David Hayes, is here as a guest at his wife. Hi, Amanda.
Oh, and David Hayes.
Yeah, I can get that. All right. Don Adams, come to the podium, please.
Good morning. Oh, wait. Good afternoon. Before I get started, I did speak with Mike Swick this morning. He came home from the place in Xenia or Bearborn yesterday. He's doing well. His PT starts at home, and he would appreciate anybody to call or come visit. So he's doing really well. So today is September 29th. 272nd day of the year. What has happened this year? It's just amazing. We've only got 93 days left. Wow. And we're already in the 7th day of fall. Today is Ask a Stupid Question Day. Confucius Day. German Butterbrot Day. Does anybody know what that means?
No, I don't.
What butterbrot is? Bread and butter. It's the German thing they do. Today's the day they bread or butter their bread. I don't know. It's Hug a Vegetarian Day. But don't do that too hard. International Coffee Day. National Attend Your Grandchild's Birthday Day. National Poisoned Blackberries Day. VFW Day. And World Heart Day. We also celebrate this week is Banned Books Week. International Week of the Deaf. National Deaf Dog Awareness Week. National Employed Older Workers Week. Remember to register to vote week, because we're getting close on that. The Otter Awareness Week. I'm sure there's a lot of those out here in the lake. And World Body Painting Day. Amazing. It's amazing what we celebrate. In 1789, the U.S. War Department was established the regular army on this day. In 1829, the first units of the London Metropolitan Police appeared on the streets of the British capital, with the city's first modern police force. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Northern Lights, but in 1859, the Carrington event caused the Northern Lights to light up the skies around the globe, all the way from the North Pole down to Columbia. If you've never seen them, try to make a trip up to see them. They're amazing. I grew up in South Dakota and I got to see them all the time, and they were amazing. In 1922, Warren G. Harding used radio for the first time for a presidential campaign. And in 1930, Lowell Thomas, some of you may remember him, made his debut on CBS Radio. And in 1962, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans' show debuted on TV. Does anybody remember what their horses' names were? That's one of them. Buttermilk. That's it. I guess there were three Trigger. What was Trigger's real name? Because he was an actor, so.
Horses around them.
His real name was Golden Cloud. In 1976, the Chevrolet Camaro, originally named the Chevrolet Panther, was introduced. And in 1982, a Tylenol capsule laced with cyanide was discovered, leading to a nationwide panic. And in 2008, we all remember this one, the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 777.68 points, largest single point loss ever. Celebrating a couple of things in the club today. A couple of wedding anniversaries. Pete and Amanda Bales, 19 years, and Ivan and Joanna Garcia, 7 years. I was hoping that Paul would be here today, but he's not. It's some school rules in Japan. Apparently, they provide helmets for everyone from junior high up when they ride their bikes. And it's not replaceable. If you break it, you wear a broken helmet. And there's no janitors in schools in Japan. The students clean the schools. Imagine them doing that here. And this one was kind of strange. Undergarments must be white for female students. I'm not gonna tell you why I do that. No food is allowed in from home. They don't go to the cafeteria for lunch, nor do they carry their meals home from home. It's a role for the schools to provide food for every student. Here's another one that would be kind of hard to do here. Dating at school is prohibited. And there are no substitute teachers. And they all must wear a uniform, and the colored outfit is never allowed. And the students are responsible to pay for those uniforms. There was a father that bought a lie detector robot that slaps people when they lie. He decides to test it out at dinner one day. Father asked his son, "What you did that afternoon?" The son said, "I did some homework." The robot slaps the son. The son says, okay, I was at a friend's house watching movies. Dad asks, what movies did you watch? Son says, Toy Story. The robot slaps the son again. Okay, we were watching bad stuff. He said, what, at your age? I didn't even know what porn was. The robot slaps the father. Mom laughs and said, well, he certainly is your son. Robot slaps mother. My wife told me that I did not love any of her relatives. I told her that's not true. She says, I love your mother-in-law and father-in-law much more than I love mine. There was a young man that was a very slow worker and subsequently found it difficult to hold down a job. After a visit to the employment office, he was offered work at the local zoo. When he arrived for his first day, the keeper, aware of his reputation, told him to take care of the tourist section. Later, the keeper dropped by to see how the young man was doing and found him standing by an empty enclosure with a gate open. Said, where are the tortoises? He asked. I can't believe it, said the new employee. I just opened the doors and whoosh, they were gone. Remember, he's a slow worker. Well, they don't all work. Today, during a test, the college professor noticed that a married student who was quite pregnant kept rubbing her side. After the class, before she left, the teacher asked her, are you okay? I noticed you holding onto your side. Oh, I'm fine. It's just that my baby was pushing his foot up and down my ribs and it hurt a little. Well, that's good, said the professor, feeling relieved. Yes, it's strange. He normally sleeps during your class too. There was a sign in a shoe repair store that says, we will heal you. We will save your soul. We will even die for you. Be like he. At an eye clinic, if you don't see what you're looking for, you come to the right place. In a restaurant window, don't stand there and be hungry. Come in and get fed up. In front of a funeral home, drive carefully. We'll wait. There was a mother-in-law that arrived home from shops to find her son Pete in a steaming rage, hurriedly packing his suitcase. What happened? She asked. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. I sent an email to my wife telling her I was coming home today for my fishing trip. I got home and guess what I found? Yes, your daughter, my wife Jean, in our marital bed with Tim Durant. This is unforgivable and the end of our marriage. I'm done. I'm leaving forever. Come now, calm down, Patty, says the mother-in-law. There is something very odd going on here. Jean would never do such a thing. There must be a simple explanation. I'll go speak to her immediately and find out what happened. Moments later, the mother comes back with a big smile. There now, Pete. You see, I told you there must be a simple explanation. Well, what is that? She never got your email. And as always, I like to leave you with a couple of positive things. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt by the heart. And to succeed in life, you need three things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. Today's nice. If you have coffee today, that's $1. If you've ever been to a Broadway musical, that's $1. If you have a dog and love them, that's $1. If you're not registered to vote, that's $2. If you've witnessed the Northern Lights, that is $1. I'll vote for that one. And if you're not wearing your Rotary pin, that's $1. One other quick thing, if you've got nothing to do this afternoon, from 2 to 4 at the Winery Griffin, they're gonna have a little get together for my campaign, so I'm not pushing it. If you'd like to go out. It's worth. I didn't.
Thank you.
Okay, who's got a happy butt? Yes, sir.
I may have mentioned last week, but Sunday I went to Las Vegas, and on Monday morning, I was declared a Domino's pizza legend by the Domino's Franchisee Association. I got a humongous trophy that hasn't come yet, because I had it shipped FedEx, so, yeah, of an eagle on top. Thanking me for my service with Domino's for all the time I did.
Wow.
Real honor.
Absolutely. All right, who else has happy buck? We gotta have some more happy bucks here.
I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm the speaker, Nancy Schreiner, but I'm also a Rotarian from Lebanon Club. And I just want to say thank you for having me.
When do you guys meet?
I'm Thursdays at noon.
Any other happy bucks? All right, do we have, well, let me do the ticket drawing. So you'll recall that on our drawing here that the half of the pot goes to our Christmas basket project. Today's number is 956-222. 222.
Hey, some people were putting their other tickets, and they may have thrown both halves.
What was the number?
222 is the last three.
No.
All right, going once, going twice. Another ticket. All right.
List on my room, I did. All right, Don. Yeah.
956-208.
I got that.
All right, Charles Curran. No jokers. Looking for the Queen of Hearts.
Hot Rose.
Hot Crows, all right.
Rose.
Okay. Anyone have any announcements?
Oh,
Yes, I know you have an announcement.
This Sunday is the Sport of Gem, rest stop that we're hosting at Coy Middle School. Thank you to everybody who volunteered. If you volunteered, you received an email from me. Thank you for solving my mystery on the signature. Yeah. But you're welcome to stop by and help us out. We'll be there between 10:30 and 3.
Eric,
Sunday's the first of the month, so sometime on Monday or early Tuesday, check your inbox of your email for a welcoming message from the Rotary Club of Beavercreek and your dues invoice.
super happy to hear that. All right. What else? Any other announcements? So over by our tickets and pot there's a sign up sheet. We have most of our readers for the next number of weeks. But if you want to take a look at it, fill in one of the spots, we'd appreciate it. I think we should find Joe Jenkins in absentia for the late call on going to Florida and skipping out on this meeting. But so when he comes back, let's make sure we find him. I think that's all we have for announcements right now. Anybody else? Okay. All right. So our speaker today, Nancy Schreiner, works at the Gehring Center for Family and Private Business at the University of Cincinnati. And that entity provides education, connection, and community. The areas of focus include family and private business succession, transition, communication and culture, leadership, advisory boards, and strategic planning. Nancy herself joined the Gehring Center in April of this year as membership development manager, primarily responsible for new member recruitment and member lifecycle management. She brings an extensive experience in business development, sales, and fundraising in the corporate community and nonprofit sectors. Most recently, she was philanthropy officer at Meals on Wheels, Southwest Ohio, and Northern Kentucky. Her passion is connecting to build meaningful relationships. She is a graduate of the University of Kentucky. Nancy and her husband David have 4 children, 6 grandchildren, and reside in Lebanon, where, as she said, she is a Rotarian. So welcome, Nancy Schreiner.
Thanks. there. Just on the table. Right,
Okay, right there.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you for the introduction. I'm thrilled to be here. When I started at the Gearing Center, I kind of thought I had retired. And then was afforded the opportunity to connect, and I had several friends who had gone through the Gearing Center, specifically in transition of their business to next generation. And here, I'll go over here. And was thrilled to join the team because we offer so many resources to area businesses. And as we say, really, it's regional businesses. Our membership extends not only the Dayton area, Cincinnati area, Northern Kentucky, where we have members in Indiana, Columbus, so we really serve a wide region. When I accepted the position, my folks at Lebanon Rotary said, well, can't you speak to us about what the Gearing Center does? I don't know exactly. So then I kind of put together what I call my Rotary Roadshow. So I have been blessed to be traveling to different Rotary clubs, sharing our story at the Gearing Center. And again, thank you for having me. Is anyone here familiar with the Gearing Center? You're familiar with it. So in 1989, John Gearing, who was a professor at the University of Cincinnati, he was also his family owned a slaughterhouse, and they were trying to figure out what to do with the company. His father and his uncle were at odds. They ended up selling the company, and as a result of the difficulty in the relationships, John Gearing took a step back and said to the folks at UC, we really need to put something together to help these family businesses. So he actually endowed the Gearing Center at UC. We're part of the Lindner College of Business, but we are a nonprofit center at UC. So John Gearing endowed the center. His foundation continues to endow the center. We have corporate sponsors who are partners in sponsoring us with financial support. And then we have our members, which provide us with membership and participation in our programs. We have over 500 members at this time. And when we started, the Gearing Center focused primarily on, again, succession, how to transition a family business from one generation to the next. And as we always say, still get together at Thanksgiving and enjoy Thanksgiving dinner together. So that was the immediate message. But since then, we have put together many programs that are education. We have leadership development programs. We have currently, we're getting ready to run a financial fluency program. We have programs on culture, building different skill sets within not only family business, but what we also say is private business. So we have a very vibrant roundtable program for folks who are interested in connecting with a peer group outside of their business. The roundtables are professionally moderated and meet monthly. At this point, we have almost 300 people in our roundtable programs, in different roundtables. So our members are companies. So when a company joins the Gearing Center, all of our programs are open to all that company's employees and team. We have all kinds of breakfast and luncheon programs. So again, we say educate, but we also want to connect. And the connection types of programs at the breakfast and lunches. For example, in October, the Fed is coming to do an economic forecast program. We've had stories from our members who really experienced tough times, and they came and shared their stories of how they bounced back. We just recently in August had a program on AI and cybersecurity that was really interesting. We had a panel, and most of our programs where there's a speaker and there's a panel and there's a Q&A. We had probably over 200 people at the Manor House in Mason listening to this AI program. It was very interesting. Has anyone here used ChatGPT? So we had two very strong proponents of AI, how to use ChatGPT. In the one, the speaker said, you want to change the brand for your company? Let me show you how to do it. Boom, boom, boom. You want to change all your training materials? Let me show you how to do it. Boom, boom, boom. And then the next two panelists were the cybersecurity people saying, hold on. Before you do that, protect your data. These are the things you need to be aware of. So it was really interesting. We're having a program in November that's a luncheon program. If you're familiar with Sierra Nevada, they are a family-owned business in Colorado, and they have a large new facility in North Carolina. They're coming to share their story. There are over 1,000 employees of this family business that they have continued to pass on. And their motto for their business is family-owned, operated, and argued over. Yeah, and that's actually on their beer bottles too, if you see that on their label. But a little bit about the kinds of things we do with succession, and which is our biggest program. We have a program called Next Generation Institute. We call it the G1 to G2. For many of our family businesses, we're at G6 to G7. Long-term businesses that have transitioned. We have many what we call cousin consortiums at this point, where maybe the business was at the two grandpas and then they had children, and now we have one company who has a 10 owner cousin consortium that's trying to figure out how to transition to their new model. So Next Generation Institute is a wonderful program. It's 12 sessions. If anyone is interested, we say, some people are ready to transition now. Some people are 3 years away. Some people are 5 years away. We have the resources to help you navigate that. We have a wonderful team of volunteers who are connecting and assigned to a family as they go through the program. We usually have 12 to 15 family groups go through the yearly institute, which actually starts in November. And these family guides get to know them and again, help them through the process. We have several coming through right now that are what we call G1 to G2. The G2 is the daughter and her husband. We have several groups of that equation coming through. We've helped companies that many of you have heard of transition from multiple generations. We've helped the Greater family, Buskins, the La Rosas are coming through their next session as they are ready to transition again. This is their second time through from their original transition. So lots of really great people. We have printers, painters, a lot of manufacturing. As you know, our region is filled with wonderful